After watching this video, you will be able to solve 2x2 puzzle cube in under 30 seconds. True, it will take some time to memorize and practice the skills shown in this video, but everything you need to solve a cube quickly is shown here. For example, the 4 videos you're watching now have all been solved in under 30 seconds. This video will be broken up into 4 separate videos or parts. The first part is an introduction to the actual notation or language we'll use when talking about a cube. The second part will be your first layer and how to solve that. And the third and fourth parts are the more challenging second layer. So there'll be second layer part A and second layer part B. All of these can be jumped to by clicking the boxes shown to the right, or repeated by clicking the boxes shown to the right, so you don't have to wait. We'll begin with the notation or language used to describe the cube itself and the rotations we're doing. I've created this specially colored cube to make things as clear as possible. When I'm holding the cube in my hand, from now on, this dark blue side sitting here will be called my front side, so that when I communicate about the front side, I'm holding the cube in my hand and I'm thinking about this front side. Imagine a clock face is sitting on here and it's traveling in this direction. That is a clockwise front turn. Therefore, a counterclockwise front turn would be in the opposite direction of the clock. Similarly, if I move my blue face to the right, we're now going to call this the right side. If you imagine the same clock on this going in this direction, a right side clockwise turn would look like that, and a right side counterclockwise turn would look like that. If we now move it to the left side, we're from now on going to call this the left side. Imagine the clock. This is a clockwise left side turn and a counterclockwise left side turn. The next one might be kind of a strange thing to call this side, but we'll call this the up side because this is up. The clock is there, so a clockwise turn would be in that direction, and a counterclockwise turn would be in that direction for the up side. Since this is the up side, we'll call this down here the downside. If you imagine the clock turning here, a clockwise downside turn would be in that direction, and a counterclockwise turn would be in that direction. And lastly, if we move this to the back, there's our clock, we face it backwards, that's our back side, clockwise turn on the back, counterclockwise turn on the back. So, if I go back to the beginning, we now have a front side, a right side, a left side, an up side, a down side, and a back side, all of which have imaginary clocks on them for which we can do either a clockwise turn or a counterclockwise turn. All of this information can be nicely summarized in this picture, where we now just use a letter for front side, F, B for back side, L for left side, R for right side, U for up side, D for downside, and then for a clockwise rotation, it's just the letter F, whereas a counterclockwise rotation would be F prime. Similarly for all the rest. So from now on, the letter by itself means a clockwise rotation. A letter with a prime on it, or that little symbol next to it, means go the opposite direction, or counterclockwise. Before we can continue to actually solve the cube, one very important common mistake is made that we need to address. Many people think they've done something when they get one side, but that may or may not be true. We can't just focus on one side, we must also think of the other sides. So even though this is all red and this is all red, this one is possibly truly solved, and this one is not because the blue and the green don't match. This is because in solving we want to think of layers. We want the whole layer to be solved. We don't want just the sides to be solved. You'll get yourselves in lots of trouble if you just try to match up red with red. You want to match up red and blue with red and blue. So you're looking for the other red blue to get placed in this spot. This is a pretty obvious observation if you think about it for just a moment, because the pieces are three-dimensional. So we need to think about both the upper side and the front side when trying to solve it. We cannot just be thinking about the upper side. These are three-dimensional pieces. This is white, this is yellow. These should not be next to each other.